What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin here. I had some technical difficulties on my little laptop, but I'm back on the air with the review, with the second clip video of the review of Monday Night Raw tonight. But anyways, back to the review. This is where Jey Uso backstage with Seth Rollins, with him complimenting him and finally getting this opportunity, a fair one, for a heavyweight championship of his run is Jey Uso, of course. And this is where Jey Uso's like, thanks for coming. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be looking at the new world heavyweight champion. Like, you just don't know, Seth. And this is where Seth was laughing, like, ha, 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 hysterically. This is where it was like, I feel you. Like, I feel you. Like, I feel like, you know how else I'm feeling right now? Like, Jey Uso, I feel like stomping your face and my first chance I get, and this is where Jey Uso's like, yeah, that's funny, like because like I'm gonna be trying to super kick your face in as soon as I get a chance to my first chance I get. Like this is where they look at each other respectively. Like with this is where they start looking at serious eyes just to make it more intense, like which probably the best idea to do, like just to make this more intensely serious and more. I'll say that's redundant, but I'll say more intensely brutal. I should say make the match like if they really legitimately have some beef with one another. But even though, or even on screen, they don't even have no beef. They're just making this like friendly competition, regardless. Like for the world heavyweight championship, this is where Seth Rollins like made the best man win in this fight. And this is where Seth Rollins like, yeah, like I agree, Oos. He's like let's go out here. Like this is our night, both of our nights. This is where Seth Rollins like was looking like, yeah, like it says of our night. And before I get into this match, we got Katana Chance and Tegan Knox taking on Natalia and Tegan Knox and Natalia taking on Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven sitting with the commentators watching the match. But yeah, I'll say not to bore you or waste any of your time. I'm just gonna tell you short and sweet to the point, like with who exactly won, and it was none other than Katana Chance and Kaden Carter winning the match with some distraction. Like even though Natalia and Tegan Knox are bringing a fight for the former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, but the number statistics of the fight was too much for the former number one contenders for the Women's Tag Team Champions. Even though they did their best, but it wasn't enough to put away the upcoming team of Katana Chance and Kaden Carter in this match. Even Natalia hitting a double, trying to hit a double Tower of Doom couldn't do it, and they do get a win, and this is where Chelsea Green like started complaining about it, like why y'all win, like shouldn't y'all be happy because they just beat your arch rivals? This is where Chelsea Green started arguing with Michael Cole, saying like, no, this is my tag team. Like, I don't owe none of these women tag team title opportunities. I was like, yeah, even though they didn't like I was like, even though like they beaten, like even though they won and they could possibly earn themselves a women's tag team titles, but first of all, Chelsea Green, like they're number one contenders. Like that doesn't like that means that you have to defend them whether if you like it or not. And second, even though it's not a number one contenders match, they could be in the next number one contenders match. The fight of like number one contenders match that they can fight you and your tag partner Piper Niven and even possibly win the tag title. But I don't think they're gonna drop the titles to see considering that Chelsea Green and Piper Niven are making those titles the most entertaining and relevant championships that's around their arms and waist or wherever they put the championships on. But what do you thought about this match between Tegan Knox and Natalia? against the winners of the match, Katana Chance and Caden Carter. Here's where we got a segment with the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes addressed his attack from Shinsuke Nakamura when he spat the red mist right into his face. His words like I couldn't help but notice about that, and he like you I think you have some, like you trying to rub off the butterfingers and try to blame somebody's fault, and then I should have listened. Like I should have paid attention to clues that Shinsuke Nakamura was dropping and continuously. And he's like, at the end of the day, with Shinsuke was one of those situations, with aspiration or bulldogs on your back, and I should have known that because while I was declaring myself for the next Royal Rumble in 2024, and fans were cheering him on. And then Cody Rhodes was but despite all that, I'm ready for Shinsuke Nakamura. In Shinsuke, you haven't paid attention. I think you got all their attention when you made it known that you want to fight me. And I was like, yeah, that's very weird because I would expect him to be calling out CM Punk and eventually they'll have their match whenever that will be. Particularly at the Survivor Series, but that didn't happen. But what did happen, we saw CM Punk's shocking long decade return. But we got Cody Rhodes also known as there's two things that we could do here, Shinsuke. You could emerge from the shadow of this ring and explain yourself to me, or you could just hide behind you. Or we go, or we could, you could come out here and not hide behind in your locker room. We could fight right here, right now. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura was right on the screen. He was like, "I will show you what you are not seeing." Yeah, we got both our moments. We have a few things in common when it comes to headline WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, winning the Rumble, but coming up absolutely short. But unlike myself in the past and you from this past year, 5 years later, I am going to take your story and finish mine. That's what he basically said onto his promo. And I'm going to be the one to finish the story. This is where Cody Rhodes did not accept this from the... And this is where he's not going to let it slide. And this is where he went ballistic. And he was like, I don't respect you. I don't berate you. It is never a part of my story. It's not just a story that's going to represent the part of my life. You said that we're the same. If you are the same, then prove it, Shinsuke. That's where he dropped the mic. And he's like, and then and I believe he set a challenge to Shinsuke. And then it's been announced that it will be next week when they go face to face, in a one-on-one match on next week's Raw. Which, are y'all excited about that? To see the first ever match between the King of Strong Style Shinsuke Nakamura facing the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. And it's a match that we have never seen because as soon as Shinsuke Nakamura left New Japan Pro Wrestling and joined WWE, this is where Cody Rhodes was exiting WWE when he was Stardust at the time and reinventing himself in the Indies and other wrestling promotions outside of the company. So I think this is somewhat exciting and somewhat of a dream match on top of that. So, yeah, I'm kind of invested into this match. Even though it's not a CM Punk dream match, but we could still have that match happen. But it'll probably be anytime after CM Punk's feuding with perhaps with Seth Rollins because it looks like he's gonna be his next opponent, perhaps at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, and that probably shows that because CM Punk, a spoiler alert, CM Punk was not at tonight's show, unfortunately. So That's one thing that was missing on tonight's Raw, which like on that news on Ringside News was right. Like tonight's Raw, like the fans are probably gonna be disappointed and angry that CM Punk's not gonna be making an appearance in Albany. But hopefully the fans on Friday Night SmackDown, they get to see him on Friday Night Show, get their money's worth of seeing the Chicago-made star, and we'll see him seeing what's next for him, like which we'll probably see him facing Seth Rollins. But yeah, spoiler alert, he was not in tonight's Raw, so you know what that means. And luckily, like we haven't seen Drew McIntyre interfering in the match, like at least not during the match. But we're going to talk about that in just the moment right next, right up next, I should say. Let me rephrase that. And apologies also like included. But anyways, who do you think is going to win this Nakamura versus Cody match, which we all know is going to be Cody? But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below, because he's not going to lose a match until he finishes the story and being WWE champion. And he's not going to lose his next match until perhaps losing the undisputed title, which only time will tell when that happens. Like if or when he becomes the champion. This is where we do have the match. This is where we have plenty of nearby falls after nearby falls, because like when every time because even when Seth Rollins tried to go hit the curb stomp, like he hit a curb stomp, Jey Uso instantly kicks out of it. This is where and also when he tried to hit a pedigree, he still kicks out 2.999, triple double nines, like 0.1 away from being 3, like. And during this match, and I forget to introduce this properly in a proper manner, saying it's your time for the main event of the evening. But anyways, this is where we have Jey Uso against Seth freaking Rollins, like where they'll keep hitting each other's finishing maneuvers, like if there's no tomorrow, or even no next week, or even no 2024 next year, even. Like hitting each other's like hitting super kicks, Uso splash, pedigrees, curb stomps, and even Jey Uso even like hit a splash at first, and he only got a 2.999, very close after hitting a thunderous super kick, which it had the fans stunned into. We also had Seth Rollins hitting a pedigree and a curb stomp, but he still kicked out of it. This is where he tried to go for a buckle bomb. This is where he tried to go for a curb stomp a second time, which I believe he was double cursed, because not double cursed. What I'm talking about, it wasn't a guarantee. My apologies, my viewers. Because it was not a guarantee, because Jey Uso intercept the curb stomp into a spear, like taking a page out of the guy he doesn't give a damn about, and that's his cousin, the Tribal Chief. And this way he hits a Uso splash right onto Seth freaking Rollins. And this is where fans were chanting "Holy Sugar Honey Iced Tea" a couple of times. I'm surprised they weren't repeatedly doing, but I heard one big mute, like with the fans started chanting "Holy," and then they muted it out because it is USA. If it was like on Peacock with a premium live event pay-per-view, like they probably wouldn't have muted it out, because considering it's on a streaming service. But anyways, that's where he tried to go for a splash, but he still got 2.9999999, which there was plenty of near falls, like respectively in each other's finishing maneuvers, like when they were hitting each other with their respective finishing maneuvers, like it was 2.999s back to back. Even for Seth Rollins, when he hit a pedigree and a curb stomp, like nothing was not bringing the main event Jey down. But yeah, this is where both men were down as soon as he hit the spear and the Uso splash combination maneuver. But Seth Rollins still instantly kicked out at 2.99999 triple double nines, like a negative 0.1 away from being 3. This is where Jimmy Uso was like, you still up, huh, Uso? Well, you're not going to be for long, because I am going to show you why I am the worthy number one contender and why we got this match to begin with. This is where he tried to hit a super kick right onto Seth Rollins. This is where fans were chanting Uso because half of them were well invested of seeing Jey Uso being world heavyweight champion. Like as much as I am, but I'm not sure like if this is the time yet. But I see Jey Uso being world champion in the near future. Like with him being main event Jey, I think either with or without Roman Reigns making him main event Jey, he would have eventually gotten that rub like of becoming a future WWE champion. Like just look at the likes of Big E, like when he broke up with the New Day, not broke up, split up more like with the New Day, like going to Raw, with the remaining 2/3 members of the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi went to Raw, and we also and then the other half of the New Day with the 1/3, which is Big E, was on SmackDown. He won the Intercontinental Championship for the start of his singles push. And he held that title until WrestleMania 37 in 2021. And he won the Money in the Bank briefcase 3 months later in July and cashed it in like a couple months later on to Bobby Lashley after his match against Randy Orton for the WWE title. Here's the big ending. Grew a few ratings for Raw, and won the championship. We could possibly see that. But I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to need a Money in the Bank briefcase to win the WWE title or the World Heavyweight title or whatever title it may be. But this is where I try to go for a spear, but it wasn't a guarantee because Seth Rollins was prepared for it, and that's the wrestling statistic. It's not going to be a guarantee. The second time was the charm, like his Uso splash was. Like this Uso splash was like when he hit it 2 different times, but still got kicked out 2.999. But yeah, this was like reminded me of the Money in the Bank in 2016, like when Roman Reigns tried to go for a spear to Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins caught him with the pedigree right in the middle of the canvas, and then hit him with a second one for the victory. But instead of getting the victory entirely with the pedigree, he was getting ready to hit his finishing maneuver, which was a curb stomp. Third time was the charm. Like with the first time was a really good execution, and that's how Seth freaking Rollins got the 1, 2, 3 and retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Congratulations for Seth freaking Rollins retaining the championship and continue his seventh month near reign as World Heavyweight Champion. And when do you think he's gonna drop the title in the near future? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. But I'm not wishing that to happen. Just a curious opinion. But I think Seth Rollins should hold on to that title for many more months to come until the next worthy star that's material enough to win in the World Heavyweight Champion gets the shot at that big gold sexy championship, something that the great one would say. But anyways, this is where they shook hands after Seth Rollins retrieved his World Heavyweight Championship that he retained. In a not so easy match, I should say. But I'll say earned the number 1 spot of being the match of the night of tonight's Monday Night Raw. And what do y'all thought about this on tonight's Raw? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. But this is where we got both. That's where Seth Rollins and Jey Uso handshake. This is where like after Seth freaking Rollins picks up Jey Uso because they still dogs. Like they were very cool. He's like, yeah, I appreciate your fight, man. This is where Jey Uso's like, yeah, like no problem. Like, and it's the same goes to you, Uso. This is where congratulations. Like it was not my night tonight, but like I still got a chance. This is where Seth Rollins agreed. This is where Jey Uso rolled out of the ring. This is where Seth Rollins continued to celebrate his latest title, his successful title defense, his biggest title defense yet. And this is where Drew McIntyre came out of nowhere, looking like a torpedo bullet, just hitting a Claymore kick out of nowhere right into the face of Jey Uso when he rolled out of the ring on the right corner side of the ringside area. This is where Seth Rollins tried to help his buddy out, like after getting Claymore, like with the and when Drew McIntyre Claymore, it was very shocking. It came out of nowhere to the point like the camera went sideways onto that angle, like after getting bumped right into Drew McIntyre. This is where Seth Rollins tried to go for a suicide dive, but this is where Drew McIntyre caught him in midair, right into the right corner of the ringside area, hitting a belly-to-belly suplex into the process. This is where he hit the bad back of Seth Rollins. This is where he knocked everything off in the timekeeper's area right onto the announce table. This is where Drew McIntyre getting ready. This is where he hits a standing Falcon Arrow suplex, slamming him hard right onto the announcer's table in the process. And that's what ended the show. Went to a very gruesomely brutal manner after a really good match. And that's how Monday Night Raw ended. I would give it 4.5 out of 5 stars for them having having 5 good matches with the likes of Seth freaking Rollins against Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship, and we also had Drew McIntyre against Sami Zayn in a really massively great match. Like, and also we had the Creed brothers maintaining their undefeated streak by beating the Judgment Day in a really good match. Oh yeah, I forget. Like the Judgment Day also kicked out R-Truth because he still thinks he's a member of the Judgment Day, but he's like they easily kicked him out of their clubhouse. What JD Madonna saying like, get out of our clubhouse. And we also had them saying it's a good reason why they beat us. That's what Dominic Mysterio and JD Madonna was telling Damian Priest, saying like, we let you know, like we know you got this, but they're really good, so don't underestimate them. Like that's the number one thing we hand them. That's what the Damian Priest are all right. Like I better make sure I take note of that and let Finn Balor know that they're nothing to play with. Like even though we got this, but we gotta be extra careful and cautious about them. And and again, who you think's gonna win? What's your hot take? What's your predictions? Please leave it in the comments down below. And what you thought about Raw overall, like genuinely, please leave a comment. Also, hopefully y'all like this video. How would y'all rate Monday Night Raw? And yeah, leave that in the comments as well. And hopefully you liked this video. And if you did, please leave a big thumbs up and subscribe. Click the bell notifications so you can be notified. First one to be notified when I upload my new upcoming video. And unfortunately, I won't be doing my daily wrestling news video for tomorrow because I have to take care of some family business, which that's going to keep me from doing it in the afternoon. So I would say I'm gonna cancel it until tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. But I still will be doing the NXT review tomorrow night after NXT goes off the air, of course. So make sure y'all check that out. That'll be episode 158 of the SNA podcast, part 17 of the SNA podcast, part 17 of the NXT review of the SNA podcast, episode 158. Make sure, the stay tuned for that, like less than 24 hours from now. But yeah, for now, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin, on this 157th episode of the SNA podcast. This is the second clip of the video, by the way, of the Monday Night Raw review, part 17. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all tomorrow in the evening. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, out. Bye-bye, my SNA fans.